Hi guys, welcome back to another tutorial. You're gonna see today how to do the things I showed in the past video but with geometry nodes. Then things we have to do is go to the geometry tab and click on new. Now you see two nodes, one for an input, which is the base geometry, and one for output is what we're going to see at the end. Because we want to add every geometry to every point of this plane, we have to go and insert the instance point on instances. And after doing that, I just go along and create a simple blue cube that we're going to use to visualize what we make. After, if I create a cube, I can drag from the outline to the node windows and drag the geometry input from it. Drag the geometry output from the cube to the geometry input of the instance on point node. Now, we have to go add the scale element node and insert it between the cube and the instance on point node. As you can see, as we move the cube, all the instances on the plane will move in the same way. Now, if you want to give them a random scale, different for every cube, you can simply go along and press Shift A and search for random. From there, drag the rotation out and search for combine and connect the value to every axis. Now you have the same value on the X, Y, and Z axis. After doing that, you put the combined X, Y, and Z output from the rotation to the scale. And there we go. You have a random value. You can adjust this value, the minimum and maximum values, to have the perfect result. But for this tutorial, we don't need it, so I simply delete it. And as you can see, if we apply any changes to the original cube, all the other cubes will have the same changes. Here are the nodes if you need them. Now, let us recreate this with the collections of elements. First things we're going to do is to drag the instance into the node window. I remember that if you want, you can download all these files in the description down below. I'm going to hide the element of the collection. Now from the collection info, drag the instance output to the instance node. Check separate children and pick instances. If you want to scale them and have a precise value, to change all the X, Y-axis at the same time, you can go to Scale, drag off the pin, and search for Combine. And from there, press Shift A to add a value. Between them, add a multiply node to simply see better the change. For example, now I set the value to 0.1 and then multiply to 1. Now the cube will have a length of 0.1 meter. The 0.1 is the length that we set before in the value node. I found that the perfect value for the perfect result is 0.845, where there is no gap between the pieces if you don't zoom too close. As you can see, we can see the pattern. So to make it random, we can turn back and use the random node. The first thing we're going to say is that the flat has index 0 and the Lego brick has index 1. Now add a random value, set it to an integer, and set the minimum to 0 to start from the first element. The maximum value is the number of elements minus 1 because it starts from 0, not from 1. In this case, we have two elements, minus 1 is 1. So the minimum value that we're going to insert is 0, and the max is going to be 1. After doing that, we can connect the random value to the index of the instance, and as you can see, we have no more precise pattern. we can go back and make some simple changes. For example, let's say that you want only one type. You can use the switch node. If a condition is true, it will return what we give to it in the true input. And if the condition is false, it will do what we give to him in the false node. Some nodes return a Boolean value, for example, equal, less than, or more than. So, for example, if you want only index 1, we can say, if the index is equal to 0, set the index to 1. Or if the index is 1, do nothing and take the index 1. If you want the index 1 is equal 1 to take the index 0, you simply go there on the switch node and change it from 0 to 1. Or simply drag off from the random value. Let's say that, for example, now I will add an element to the collection, so the total number of the elements is going to be 3. Now, for setting the max value, we have to do 3 minus 1 equal to 2. So now 2 is the maximum value that we can get. By doing that, you can play with the value of the switch node and the equal node to get various results. But for me, because I want to have all the same elements this evenly, I want to delete this node and do that. This is all for today. Thanks for watching. Comment down below how you find this video, like and subscribe. Now is out a new series of shorts where I make what you ask. Comment in the short and I will do what you say. Thanks for watching and see you next time.